What if your morning routine could be the key to ending years of chronic pain and inflammation? Imagine waking up without that familiar stiffness, moving through your day without constant discomfort, and finally feeling like yourself again. This isn't wishful thinking. It's what happens when you understand how breakfast can either fuel inflammation or fight it. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button right now if you're tired of living with pain and ready to try something different. And subscribe because I'm going to show you exactly how to make these changes starting tomorrow. Let me paint a familiar picture. You wake up before dawn not because you want to, but because the throbbing in your knees won't let you sleep. You sit on the edge of your bed, gathering courage for that first painful step. Your joints feel like rusty hinges. By the time you reach the kitchen, you're already exhausted and the day hasn't even started. Sound familiar? You're not imagining it. Over 54 million adults deal with diagnosed arthritis, and millions more suffer silently, believing this is just what getting older looks like. But here's the truth nobody's telling you. That pain isn't random, it's not inevitable wear and tear, it's inflammation, a biological fire burning inside your body. And every single morning, most people unknowingly pour gasoline on that fire with their breakfast choices. White bread, sugary cereals, processed meats, pastries, even that innocent-looking glass of orange juice. These foods spike your blood sugar, trigger inflammatory responses, and guarantee a day of pain and discomfort. The connection between inflammation and diet has been documented for decades, yet somehow this critical information never reaches the people who need it most. Research following over 5,000 adults for 15 years found that those who consumed the most anti-inflammatory foods had 46% lower risk of cardiovascular disease and 52% lower mortality rates. Think about that. What you eat isn't just affecting your comfort level. It's determining whether you'll be around to watch your grandchildren grow up. Breakfast matters most because it sets your inflammatory response for the entire day. What you eat in those first 2 hours after waking either activates your body's healing systems or throws fuel on the inflammatory fire. I know you've tried everything. The pills, the physical therapy, maybe you've even considered surgery. Nothing works long-term and you're exhausted from being disappointed. I understand that frustration completely. What I'm sharing is different because we're not treating symptoms. We're addressing the root cause. We're working with your body, not against it. Let me show you exactly how to build a breakfast that stops inflammation in its tracks. First, let's talk about turmeric golden milk. This isn't some trendy health fad. This is ancient medicine meeting modern science perfectly. Turmeric contains curcumin, one of the most potent anti-inflammatory substances found in nature. Studies show it rivals the effectiveness of some anti-inflammatory drugs, but without dangerous side effects. Curcumin blocks a molecule that travels into your cell nuclei and turns on genes related to inflammation. By blocking this pathway, curcumin literally prevents inflammation from happening at the cellular level. Research examining people with knee osteoarthritis found remarkable results. Half the group took curcumin supplements while the other half took a placebo. After 8 weeks, the curcumin group reported 58% reduction in pain and stiffness. These weren't young people with minor aches. These were adults in their 60s and 70s who had suffered for years. Some reduced or eliminated their pain medications entirely. Here's how you make golden milk correctly because preparation matters. In a small saucepan, warm 1 cup of milk. Use dairy or non-dairy, whatever agrees with your system. Add 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. This is crucial because black pepper increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. Add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and a small piece of fresh ginger if you have it. Warm this mixture gently for 5 minutes, then add a teaspoon of honey or maple syrup. The fat in milk helps with curcumin absorption, which is why this works so much better than taking a capsule with water. Drink this every morning, preferably on an empty stomach. You'll notice changes within a week. Your joints will feel looser. That morning stiffness will ease up. Over time, those deep aches you thought were permanent start to fade. But consistency is everything. Curcumin doesn't build up in your body like medications. You need to consume it regularly to maintain its anti-inflammatory effects. Think of it as medicine you drink, not just a beverage. Second, we need omega-3 rich foods. I'm talking about wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, or if you're not a fish person, walnuts and flax seeds. This is non-negotiable for an anti-inflammatory breakfast. Your body constantly produces signaling molecules that either promote or reduce inflammation. When you eat omega-3 fatty acids, your body converts them into resolvins and protectins. These specialized molecules actively resolve inflammation. They don't just reduce it, they tell your immune system the inflammatory response can stop. The Western diet has created a massive problem. Most people consume 20 times more omega-6 fatty acids than omega-3. Omega-6 comes from vegetable oils, processed foods, and grain-fed meats. While omega-6 isn't inherently bad, this ratio imbalance tips your body toward constant inflammation. It's like having an accelerator stuck down with no brake pedal. Adding omega-3 rich foods to your breakfast restores that balance and gives your body the brake pedal it desperately needs. Research from Harvard Medical School followed over 19,000 adults for 11 years. Those with the highest blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids had 23% lower risk of dying from heart disease and 17% lower overall mortality. Another study showed rheumatoid arthritis patients who consumed omega-3 supplements experienced less morning stiffness and were able to reduce anti-inflammatory medications. What does this look like at breakfast? A 3-ounce serving of wild-caught salmon alongside your eggs, a small tin of sardines on whole grain toast, or if you prefer plant-based options, add 2 tablespoons of ground flax seed to your oatmeal or smoothie. A 1/4 cup of walnuts gives you an excellent omega-3 boost. The key is getting these fats in early because they regulate your inflammatory response throughout the entire day. Here's a preparation tip that makes all the difference. Buy frozen wild-caught salmon fillets and keep them on hand. The night before, move 1 fillet to the refrigerator to thaw. In the morning, season it with salt, pepper, and lemon juice, then bake at 400 degrees for just 12 minutes. That simple, you now have powerful anti-inflammatory protein that most people reserve only for dinner. If you're finding this helpful, drop a comment below telling me which food you're most excited to try. Are you Team Turmeric or Team Salmon? Let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, because I'm releasing more strategies like this every week to help you take control of your health naturally. Third, let's talk about berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. These little fruits are absolute inflammation-fighting powerhouses. The science behind why they work is fascinating. Berries are loaded with anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep red, blue, and purple colors. Anthocyanins do something remarkable in your body. They reduce production of inflammatory cytokines, the chemical messengers that signal your immune system to create inflammation. Simultaneously, they increase production of anti-inflammatory cytokines. So they're not just blocking inflammation, they're actively promoting your body's natural anti-inflammatory response. Research from Harvard School of Public Health followed over 93,000 women for 18 years. Women who ate the most blueberries and strawberries had 34% lower risk of heart attack compared to those who rarely ate berries. Another study examined older adults with metabolic syndrome. After 8 weeks of eating blueberries daily, participants showed significant decreases in inflammatory markers, lower blood pressure, and improved insulin sensitivity. What really excites me about berries for breakfast is how they work synergistically with other anti-inflammatory foods. When you combine berries with omega-3 rich foods and turmeric, you create what researchers call a complementary effect. The whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Your body's anti-inflammatory response becomes stronger and more sustained. Add 1 cup of mixed berries to your breakfast every single morning. Toss them in your oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or simply eat them fresh alongside your eggs and salmon. Frozen berries work just as well as fresh, and they're often more affordable and convenient. Frozen berries are typically picked at peak ripeness and frozen immediately, which preserves their antioxidant content. Don't overthink this. Just get a cup of berries into your body every morning and let them do their work. Fourth, and this might surprise you because so many people have been told to avoid it, green tea, specifically matcha green tea. Before you say you're a coffee person, hear me out. Because what green tea can do for inflammation is something coffee simply cannot match. Green tea contains EGCG, a powerful antioxidant so effective at fighting inflammation that researchers have studied it as a potential treatment for rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and even certain cancers. EGCG inhibits production of inflammatory enzymes and suppresses activation of inflammatory genes. It's like having a master switch you can flip to turn down your body's inflammatory response. Research found that EGCG reduced arthritis severity in laboratory models by 50%. Human studies have shown similar promise. People who drank green tea regularly had lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation in the blood. Matcha becomes even more powerful than regular green tea. When you drink regular green tea, you steep the leaves and throw them away, getting only a fraction of beneficial compounds. With matcha, you're consuming the entire ground leaf, which means you get up to 10 times more antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds in every cup. Make this part of your breakfast routine. 1 teaspoon of matcha powder whisked into 8 ounces of hot water. You can add a splash of milk and touch of honey if you prefer. Drink this after your golden milk or alongside your anti-inflammatory breakfast. Some people worry about caffeine, but matcha contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm alertness without jitters or crashes. You'll feel focused and energized, but calm and centered. Fifth and final, nuts. Specifically almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. These aren't just healthy snacks. They're inflammation-fighting medicines that happen to taste delicious. Nuts are rich in vitamin E, magnesium, fiber, and healthy fats. What makes them special for inflammation is their unique combination of nutrients working together. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant, protecting your cells from inflammatory damage. Magnesium helps regulate your immune response and reduces inflammatory markers. Fiber feeds beneficial bacteria in your gut, which produce short-chain fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory effects throughout your entire body. A massive study following over 118,000 people for 30 years found that people who ate nuts daily had 20% lower death rate compared to those who never ate nuts. They had significantly lower rates of heart disease, cancer, and respiratory disease, all conditions driven by chronic inflammation. Another study looked at older adults with metabolic syndrome. Those who ate almonds daily for 12 weeks showed significant reductions in inflammatory markers and improvements in insulin sensitivity. Their blood sugar levels stabilized, inflammation decreased, and many reported feeling better overall. Add a quarter cup of mixed nuts to your breakfast. Sprinkle them over your oatmeal, toss them in your smoothie, or simply eat them on the side. If you want to maximize benefits, buy raw nuts and lightly toast them yourself. This brings out flavor and makes them more digestible. Avoid nuts heavily salted or coated in sugar and oils. You want pure, whole food to get the full anti-inflammatory effect. Here's something most people miss, and this is crucial for making this work long-term. Timing matters. Your body's inflammatory response follows a circadian rhythm. Inflammation is naturally higher in the morning, which is why so many people with arthritis feel worst when they first wake up. This is actually the perfect time to intervene with anti-inflammatory foods because you're catching that inflammatory spike right when it's happening. Eat your anti-inflammatory breakfast within 1 hour of waking up. Don't wait until mid-morning when you're finally hungry. Your body needs these nutrients early to set your inflammatory tone for the entire day. And here's another critical point. Don't eat these foods in isolation. Combine them into one comprehensive breakfast. Have your turmeric golden milk with a salmon and veggie scramble topped with berries and nuts with a cup of matcha on the side. This isn't about picking 1 or 2 items. This is about creating a synergistic anti-inflammatory protocol that transforms your health. One more warning before we finish. Some people will try this for 3 days, not notice a miracle cure, and give up. That's not how healing works. Inflammation built up in your body over years, maybe decades. You're not reversing it in 72 hours. Most people start noticing subtle improvements within 1 to 2 weeks. Less morning stiffness, better energy, improved mood. But the real transformation happens at the 6 to 8 week mark. That's when people report significant pain reduction, better mobility, clearer thinking, and an overall sense of vitality they haven't felt in years. You have to commit to this. Give it 60 days and track how you feel. I promise you won't want to go back to your old breakfast habits. Let's recap what we've covered today. Start every morning with turmeric golden milk to block inflammation at the cellular level. Add omega-3 rich foods like salmon or walnuts to activate your body's natural resolution of inflammation. Include a cup of mixed berries to reduce inflammatory cytokines and boost anti-inflammatory signals. Drink matcha green tea for powerful EGCG that suppresses inflammatory genes. Top it all off with a quarter cup of nuts for vitamin E, magnesium, and gut-supporting fiber. This is your anti-inflammatory breakfast protocol. This is how you take control of your health starting tomorrow morning. Before you go, I need you to do 3 things. First, smash that like button if this information opened your eyes to what's possible. Second, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss strategies that actually work. Third, comment below right now and tell me which of these 5 foods you're starting with tomorrow. Your engagement helps this information reach more people who are suffering needlessly. Remember, you have more control over your health than you've been led to believe. Pain and inflammation don't have to be your reality. Food is medicine, and breakfast is your daily dose. Start tomorrow morning and watch what happens when you give your body what it needs to heal itself.